For several years now, users have been complaining about not reaching the totality or even the majority of their audience on Instagram. A statement like this proves the person making it isn't familiar with how social media works. So what does that mean for you? Is Instagram deliberately holding your content hostage? Content that doesn't make a user engage or maybe even forces them to close the app will get lower reach. So to summarize this, the 3 ways to beat the algorithm are: Instagram's evil algorithm. Don't tell me, you've been a victim of it too. But let me challenge you. Let's make a bet. Let's see how convinced you're about this, because I am willing to bet you it's not Instagram's fault. It's yours. Let me explain. Just recently, one of our Instagram business profiles hit 1,000 posts, 1,000 pieces of content published on our feed. If you start posting today and post every single day, no exception, that's almost 3 years of consecutive posting. That's a lot of content. I still can't say I now know everything there is about Instagram's algorithm and rules and what will work for everyone, because I don't. But considering our brand is consistently achieving 120% higher engagement rates with our content, I can confidently say that I now know what doesn't work, and I know that it's not Instagram's fault. First, we need to discuss the so-called evil algorithm that, by the posts I see being shared on Instagram, punishes each and every user by simply not distributing their content across the platform because of an evil plan. For several years now, users have been complaining about not reaching the totality or even the majority of their audience on Instagram. A statement like this proves the person making it isn't familiar with how social media works. Were you able to reach your whole audience years ago? Most definitely. But here's why that's not possible anymore. When Instagram was in its early days, there weren't many users actively using it. You only followed a handful of people, maybe a brand here and there. You opened your app once or twice a week, catching up with everyone else who was doing the same. When you followed 30 to 50 people, catching up was easy. At the end of 2010, Instagram had 1 million users. In 2011, when I started using it, they had 10 million users. Today, 1.4 billion users. This kind of growth comes with a benefit and a cost. Content you create on Instagram can now reach a lot more people than it could just several years ago. But because of this, a lot more content is created globally and fed through the Instagram's feed of an average user. So what does that mean for you? Is Instagram deliberately holding your content hostage? The answer is simple, and the reason even more so. No, it's not, because that's of no benefit to Instagram. Instagram wants users to log in frequently for them to use Instagram hours at a time. That's their whole business model. So when your content reaches a tiny percentage of your audience, it's not because Instagram decided that on a whim. It's because your audience is following hundreds of other profiles and you're competing with them for attention. What do I mean by that? An average user on Instagram follows around 250 profiles and spends 30 minutes a day on the platform. That's a lot of content to consume, a lot of stories to watch, and DMs to respond to in such a relatively short amount of time. Imagine it like a funnel. The liquid is the content posted daily. The spout is the Instagram feed of an average user. No matter how much liquid you pour into it, no matter how fast, the amount that's going to funnel through won't change. It's literally impossible for you to reach the totality of your audience on Instagram, no matter how good you are. But that doesn't mean Instagram doesn't prioritize. Like I mentioned before, Instagram wants users to use and stay on the platform for as long as possible. If a user opens the app, sees a piece of content they don't resonate with, and closes it, that's a bad sign. But if the content they see makes them engage with it, stay on the platform longer, that's good. Content that doesn't make a user engage or maybe even forces them to close the app will get lower reach. But an engaging content will not only reach more of its designated audience, but will even reach users that don't follow the brand but are interested in similar content, something Instagram knows from a user's behavior. Taking all of this into account, it is clear when your reach is low, when your engagement is low, it's your fault, but that means you can do something about it. So to summarize this, the 3 ways to beat the algorithm are: number 1, observe your own content. What was the content that organically reached more people than usual? What's the type of content your users engage with more? Number 2, observe your competitors' content. Ask the same questions. What are the 10 most engaged with pieces of content on their profile? The last and most important, number 3, creating good content on Instagram is all about observing and recognizing patterns. And they are there. You just won't recognize them if you publish sporadically and leave without observation. So the next time you're thinking about a drastic measure like creating a brand new account so you'll magically reach more people, think about Einstein's definition of insanity. Are you really insane? Or are you only a system away from truly connecting with your audience? If you found this video useful, be sure to like it and subscribe to our channel because there's more stuff on the way.